This is a scene from the dance drama called Wing Chun, which is also the name of a unique style of Chinese martial arts. In this segment, Wing Chun master Ip Man is battling with 4 masters of other styles of Chinese martial arts. The dancers are reciting the motto of Wing Chun, which literally translates as "Practice diligently, and skills will become second nature. Cultivate righteousness and avoid unnecessary disputes. Maintain a gentle attitude in dealing with the world, and support the weak with martial virtue." An excerpt from this performance was featured in China Media Group's 2024 Spring Festival Gala, quickly igniting a nationwide craze for the dance drama Wing Chun. The dance drama is a masterpiece by choreographers Zhen and Zhou Liya, known as the twin stars of the dance world. Over the past 10 years, the duo has been striving to interpret their understanding of traditional Chinese culture through innovation. Adapting the martial art Wing Chun to a dance drama, Zhen and Zhou Liya say they were pursuing their dreams of becoming heroes in the fantasy world of martial arts.
When I was young, I loved reading Jin Yong's novels. I particularly enjoyed Demigods and Semi-Devils and The Sword Stained with Royal Blood. Apart from the original novels, I watched countless martial arts films like The Legend of the Condor Heroes and The Return of the Condor Heroes, repeatedly. So I do have a martial arts dream.
I admire the heroes in martial arts stories who help the weak. I feel that Zhen and I have a masculine spirit within. We have always hoped to create something related to martial arts, which carries a sense of chivalry. Of course, creating the dance drama is an exploration of our own profession.
The project of producing the dance drama Wing Chun began in 2019. Zhen and Zhou Liya were commissioned by the Shenzhen Opera and Dance Theatre to bring it out. The 2 choreographers and their team stayed in Guangdong province, spending considerable time in Ip Man's hometown, the city of Foshan, to draw inspiration.
In Foshan, we saw signs and symbols of martial arts everywhere. It's quite common for children there to watch lion dances and learn some martial arts. There is a rich cultural environment there.
However, the stories of Wing Chun and Ip Man are already well known to many Chinese, so the dance drama needed to find a unique narrative structure. As their first step, Zhen and Zhou Liya tried to gain a deep understanding of Ip Man.
I saw Ip Man in a video. He was quite old in it. Actually, it was he who asked people to shoot the video because he wanted to pass on to future generations how he practiced the martial art of Wing Chun.
The video Zhen referred to is a rare recording left by the legendary martial art master in 1972, when he was 79 years old and suffering from terminal diseases. He asked his disciples to document his demonstration of Wing Chun, providing invaluable visual materials for future learners. The martial art master passed away in October that same year. Before encountering the real history, Zhen and Zhou Liya's impressions of Ip Man primarily came from film and television. The process of reviewing the historical records opened up a new perspective for them in creating the dance drama Wing Chun.
When we were at the Shenzhen film studio, we saw their warehouse, which was neatly organized with every film they had made over the years. They had all the materials, even the procurement lists and receipts. The on-site photos were in individual folders, with 3 or 4 folders for each film. We were amazed and asked who organized it. They told us it was a retired teacher from their photography team who came back to organize it bit by bit. We were very eager to meet him. Later, they invited him back from Hunan province. We asked him why he did this. He said it was a labor of love. He felt they were his memories. When he talked to us, we could see his spirit rejuvenated as he recounted how they faced difficulties and felt despair, yet he insisted they must persevere.
After in-depth research, Han Zhen and Zhou Liya gradually clarified the dual narrative structure of the dance drama. One line follows Ip Man as he leaves Foshan for Hong Kong, while the other follows a film crew shooting a martial art film, Wing Chun, in Shenzhen. In the dance drama, Ip Man ventures to Hong Kong, where he endeavored to promote the traditional Chinese martial art of Wing Chun far and wide. At the same time, lighting technician Da Chun and other people of a film crew were striving hard to make a film about the martial art master. To some extent, the dance drama is a dialogue across space and time between two generations. The dance drama Wing Chun began rehearsals back in January 2021. Its dancers underwent a year-long professional martial arts training. Zhou Liya recalls that the process was very arduous.
You will find that a dancer's training involves not only physical movements but also the cultural heritage behind the martial arts they practice. They must learn and internalize this culture. I remember the most amusing part for us was when we were learning the martial arts style called Ba Gua Zhang. In the first couple of days, we rolled up our sleeves and said we would study hard. Of course, I and Han Zhen were a bit older than the dancers. After a few days of practice, we felt our thighs giving out. They were swollen and painful, and even going to the bathroom became a challenge. After a couple of more days, we gradually and quietly retreated to the back and sat down. It was just too difficult because martial arts require a strong foundation, and the breathing techniques for practicing martial arts are entirely different.
For example, when I first saw our tutor of Ba Ji Quan, another style of Chinese martial arts, I asked him to demonstrate. I wanted to get a close impression of Ba Ji Quan quickly. His power was so overwhelming that I could hardly see his moves. It was almost as if there were no moves at all, just pure force. I felt like the floor was going to crack under his feet. Each martial art has such a distinct feeling. However, Ba Gua Zhang is different. When the tutor of this martial art moves, it's like a dragon that appears and disappears. His footwork is unpredictable, and I realized there are so many types of martial arts, making me excited to learn any one of them.
The role with the most intense fight scenes in the play is played by dancer Chang Hongji, who plays Ip Man. Born in 1999, taking on the role of this experienced and mature male character is quite a challenge for the young dancer. But then, why choose this young man to play Ip Man? Zhou Liya explains.
His physicality is exceptional. For instance, in his solo dance segment, he can be incredibly flexible. During his Wing Chun segments, he can be so powerful with a very stable core. Meanwhile, Hongji is not very tall, and his image is not that overwhelming or exceptional when he is among a group of people. In fact, he aligns perfectly with the vision we had for this work from the beginning. He appears to be an ordinary person, yet possesses extraordinary skills.
For dancer Chang Hongji, he has wholeheartedly devoted himself to the dance drama Wing Chun.
It requires real fighting, and each time it's a genuine clash. My palms have become much thicker now. I often practice on a wooden dummy when I'm alone, as I feel it gives me a deeper connection to the feelings Ip Man experienced in his training. You know, Ip Man has imbued the wooden dummy with great emotional significance. He sees it as another opponent, symbolizing the part of himself that he strives to surpass.
But the breathing and force application of a dancer are entirely different from those of a martial artist. To synchronize the martial movements with the rhythm of dance, countless adjustments and refinements are necessary. During the 6-month rehearsal period, all dancers engaged in 12 hours of high-intensity practice daily. Even during their tours of actual performance, they maintained their training without letting go of their martial arts practice. In December 2022, the dance drama Wing Chun finally premiered at the Shenzhen Poly Theatre. The climax of the entire performance features a scene where Ip Man faces off against the masters of 4 major styles of Chinese martial arts. In an 18-minute showdown, dancer Chang Hongji must continuously execute hundreds of movements without pause. Choreographer Zhou Liya explains that this segment poses a significant challenge for the dancer.
This part is a huge challenge not only for Hongji but also for the other 4 dancers. The speed of their exchanges is incredibly fast, and if Hongji is even half a step late or makes a slight mistake, the entire sequence will be thrown off. Unlike in movies where you can stop and redo a scene, in our dance drama, once it starts, there can be no delay or error. He Junbo, our executive director and master of the martial arts style called Tang Lang Quan, remarked that Hongji's mind operates like a computer. Junbo said that while fighting 4 opponents, Hongji even helps keep the rhythm. During breaks, Junbo and Hongji would walk over to each other and start practicing their moves without any preparation, and Hongji would instinctively know what to do.
Such devotion and excellence of the dancers ensures the success of the dance drama. The clean and swift movements, the rapid strikes, and the flowing grace of the masters of martial arts create a mesmerizing spectacle for the audience. Many critics agree that the dance drama Wing Chun reveals the unique aesthetic beauty of Chinese martial arts. The intense battles, characterized by precise strikes, seamless retractions, and respectful gestures, embody a distinctly Chinese sense of romance and captivating beauty. For choreographers Han Zhen and Zhou Liya, the concluding segment of the dance drama is the most valuable part.
I think it's the last 2 group photos that I should point out.
I want to mention that too.
One photo features Yip Man in the center, surrounded by his disciples, which includes both the elderly and children. He once hoped to select disciples who would embody the strengths of martial arts, being beautiful and talented. However, in the end, he realized that people cannot be divided into ranks. The essence of martial arts must be taught to those who need it, to those who seek the skill. The second photo captures a large group shot of everyone on the film set. At that final moment, everyone overcame challenges together. Just like history, some people have their names recorded in history books, while others do not. Yet, history is composed of countless ordinary individuals. I believe that heroes are the light each person strives for in their hearts, and every ordinary person can be their own hero.
Since its premiere, the dance drama Wing Chun has toured over 150 performances across China. Han Zhen says that the creation of Wing Chun is their tribute to traditional Chinese culture.
Actually, the ancestral teachings of Wing Chun are a long chapter. We believe that 4 lines resonate deeply with the core of our play, so we extracted them. For instance, practice diligently and skills will become second nature. I think this embodies the diligence of the Chinese people. Cultivate righteousness, avoid unnecessary disputes, reflects how the Chinese prefer to avoid trouble and focus on self-improvement. Maintain a gentle attitude in dealing with the world. I believe this is not only a characteristic of the Chinese, but also of people in many East Asian countries in general. Support the weak with martial virtue speaks to how we assist those who are vulnerable. The heroes we admire are those who help the weak. Thus, within these seemingly simple movements lies a vast world worthy of our exploration.
Actually, the dance drama Wing Chun is the 6th work that Han Zhen and Zhou Liya have cooperated to create. Their previous works, such as Poetic Dance, The Journey of a Legendary Landscape Painting, The Eternal Wave, and the past of Shawan have enjoyed enduring popularity. In particular, the success of the poetic dance, the journey of a legendary landscape painting, also known as Only This Green, is another milestone in Han and Zhou's endeavors to integrate traditional Chinese culture with the modern arts.
In Only This Green, we completed the characterization of the role Qinglu. For me personally, this represents a significant advancement and breakthrough. The character of Qinglu may seem lifeless. Such figures are relatively rare on the dance stage. I can't say they are non-existent, but they are certainly few. We felt strongly that this character must exist.
The character Qinglu in Only This Green is not a concrete figure. She embodies the signature two colors from the painting scroll, a panorama of rivers and mountains, namely blue and green. She also symbolizes the tangible and intangible essence of Chinese culture and serves as the visual highlight of the entire dance drama. Only This Green employs a narrative structure that intertwines space and time. A modern cultural relic worker delves into the study of A Panorama of Rivers and Mountains, a spectacular painting by the 12th century painter Wang Ximeng. The modern relic worker crossed time to enter the world of Wang Ximeng, witnessing the process of him creating the masterpiece. It is precisely this narrative structure and the originality of the character Qinglu that contribute to the success of Only This Green. Since its launch in August 2021, the dance drama has been staged more than 600 times, touring across China and many foreign countries such as Singapore, Turkey and Russia. On the night of January 31st, 2022, an excerpt of the dance drama appeared at the China Media Group Spring Festival Gala, a widely watched television show during the Chinese New Year celebrations. Its choreographer Han Jun recalls that when she first saw the original painting, she was profoundly amazed and wanted to adapt it into an art of dance.
The shock came at that moment when I saw it for the first time. I said, wow, how can it be like this? In 2017, when I visited the exhibition of A Panorama of Rivers and Mountains, even though I was pushed along by the crowd, I only got a glimpse of it. But I felt that nearly 1,000 years had passed. The layers of the painting were so distinct and the colors so beautiful. That beauty seemed unique to China. You know, we're not professional painters, but I can't help but feel, wow, the layers, the misty mountains, the sense of proximity and distance, it feels like many poems are springing to mind. When I realized that Wang Ximeng was only 18 years old when he did this work, I exclaimed, my goodness! I can't help but reflect on what I was doing at 18. We all know that while painting and dance are different, before we can create a large dance drama, we start by practicing 1-minute skits, then move on to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and eventually to 7-minute pieces. The concept of a 7-minute piece is entirely different from that of a full-length dance drama. So, how did Wang Ximeng transition from a small painting to an 11-meter-long scroll at such a young age? Definitely, he had a keen sense of the real mountains and rivers. Through the eyes of this 18-year-old painter, we see this painting, which indeed reflects profound love for and confidence in the Chinese land and Chinese culture.
In recent years, traditional Chinese opera, folk music and dance, classical poetry, and so on have transcended specific professional circles and have become popular cultural products for ordinary people. Young creators are crucial to this trend, as cultural products require forms and substance that resonate with the times. Zhen and Zhou Liya are exemplary figures among this group of young cultural creators.
Traditional Chinese culture itself possesses endless charm. I believe this is a treasure left to us by our ancestors. The beauty of the costumes from many ethnic minorities can truly move you in an instant. It's like dancing. When I heard music as a child, I wanted to dance. There's no reason for it. Just as you don't need a reason to love dance, you don't need a reason to love traditional culture.
For Han's work partner, Zhou Liya, love for traditional culture is also in her bones. As a hobby and interest, Zhou has collected many old embroidery pieces.
I collected them while we were out drawing inspirations for our dance works. I brought them back and put them away. I just love them. I think this passion is nurtured by the land I have grown up in. I was born and raised in this land, and I definitely love it.
Both Han Zhen and Zhou Liya graduated from the Beijing Dance Academy. Han hails from Shandong province in eastern China, while Zhou comes from Sichuan province in southwestern China. They have contrasting personalities. Zhou is always in work mode, while Han tends to think divergently and occasionally steps outside the box. But they do have similarities: passion for artistic creation and love for traditional Chinese culture. The two say they both enjoy their decade-long collaboration.
It's like two trees with roots growing in different places. When they bask in the same sunlight, they gradually begin to intertwine. It's a process of spiraling together. Perhaps the roots are not together, but this spiraling process is how we create, intertwining and growing together.
We are both practical. When our ideas clash or differ, we often persuade each other with the tangible final results. It's like climbing stairs. Although our ideas and starting points may not always align, they sometimes build upon each other. If our ideas were completely conflicting, I believe we wouldn't have worked together for so long on so many pieces.
When asked about their strong desire to create, Han Zhen says to innovate has become a habit and passion for them.
Whenever I see good things and great works, I say to Liya, we can do this. We just want to express it. I always keep a little notebook in my bag, jotting down what books or movies I've seen, and this may lead one day to our artistic creation.
Both choreographers say they always strive to step out of their comfort zones and continuously push their boundaries. And they aim to use dance as a medium to promote traditional Chinese culture globally. Han Zhen recalls the emotional experience when Wing Chun premiered abroad in Singapore in September 2023.
Singapore has a large population of Chinese descent. I remember many ambassadors from various countries in Singapore attended our show. After the show, one ambassador came to talk with us and happily said, "Watching this play reminded me of my days in China." That really moved me. It proved that the essence of what we're doing is right, at least in his memory. I also saw a pair of elderly audience members sitting in the front row, sitting up straight during the entire show. As the performance progressed, they were gripping their fists. In the end, they stood up to applaud. Later, I found out that they hailed from Guangdong province. They had left their hometowns to make a living abroad. I believe they felt the spirit of Yip Man and also a sense of home.
So far, the dance drama Wing Chun has been staged more than 200 times and toured overseas to countries including Britain and France. As the success of Wing Chun continues, Han Zhen and Zhou Liya say they are ready to bring more fantastic dance productions to the audience from both home and abroad. With that, we conclude this edition of Footprints. Thanks for listening. I'm Bob Jones. If you're interested in hearing more about the lives of ordinary but incredible people in China, follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. Just key in Footprints and you can find more stories anytime, anywhere. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.